Welcome to Sideline Sports. We are back. Took a week off last week. Tried to get a little midsummer break, trying to enjoy our families, time off a little bit. We needed it. But we are back, everybody. JB, John, how you doing, gentlemen?
Doing pretty well.
Doing good,
I
good.
Felt better, but I'm alive, so that means I'm winning.
Well, we're happy to have you. And JB, it's a good thing you're alive because we're going to need you right now because we're starting with you. We got NBA Finals. I'll happily talk about Stanley Cup Finals afterwards because that's almost over already. But NBA Finals, they start tonight, 9 o'clock. We ready or what?
I've never been so disappointed in the finals of my life. Seriously,
Wow.
the Yucks versus the Suns. The Milwaukee Yucks. Can I say any more? Giannis hurt. Chris disappearing Middleton. Why bother? John, what do you think about that, John? You're muted, so, obviously you're not thinking much of it. Go ahead.
I thought this was just overall the playoffs this has been one of the most disappointing playoffs I've seen in recent memory. Not because two different teams are in the finals. That's cool. I enjoy that in sports. But it's just the fact that everybody's been injured throughout this whole playoffs.
Well,
it's been like every team has had a major injury. And I get injuries happen, but it's kind of taking the fun out of it when every team has had a major injury.
I don't mean to cut you off, but it's funny. We said right before the show, it looks like Giannis is not playing. Well, it looks like we were wrong because Giannis is back tonight officially. So we're talking about injuries. We're saying, oh, man, it's been so disappointing. Well, Giannis will be playing game one tonight. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden the game changes, but it's good to have him back.
While he was injured, did he learn how to shoot from the outside? I'm guessing not. So it ain't going to make much of a difference. He's not a superstar until he has an all-around game. So,
wow, bold take.
I don't care. I don't care that he's in the NBA Finals. It's the Milwaukee Yucks from now on.
The problem for the Suns, and I still think Suns win game one because we don't know how much playing time Giannis is going to get. We don't have that. We don't know how healthy he's going to be for tonight. We don't know what his mindset is. So there's a lot to unfold with that. But I still think the Suns win game one. But my worry with the Suns is, can they cover the big guys down low, Brook Lopez and Giannis? Can they handle them? I don't think DeAndre Ayton can handle Giannis. That's just my opinion. My worry for Devin Booker, I said this last night on the Sports Arena. Shout out to the Sports Arena, Monday and Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern time. I said this about Devin Booker is, he's a guy that when he gets really high with his energy, it's great for him and the Suns. But when things aren't going quite right, can he flip that switch? I'm not quite sure he can. It's kind of like the Heat. They lived on that underdog mentality last year. They played like dogs. But when that's not working, what is your identity? You can't necessarily rely on something like that all the time. And that's my concern with Devin Booker is
out of order
in this finals.
Out of order. This is the
I
Devin
said
Booker
it about
show.
my Heat. I knocked my Heat. I was honest.
I'm proud that John
Booker
did that.
show.
That may be the first time John has ever said something honest about his own
honest.
team.
You can't live with that type of mentality all the time whenever you're a team. That can't be necessarily your identity. It's my worry with Devin Booker and the Suns is they're going to go really high energy, but when the Bucks slow it down, they play bully ball. Can the Suns keep that energy up? It's like drinking an energy drink in the morning. Yeah, you got that energy going right away, but when you get that sugar crash, how are you going to respond? So that's how
I'm going to count my out of orders for you. That's twice. This is the Devin Booker show.
What about before
the
the
man,
show?
The man will win the Finals MVP. CP3 is getting his ring.
I agree.
And this is his year. And that's all I'm going to say. Brook Lopez is trash.
Yes, John.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that.
You're happy someone acknowledged your shirt.
Hey, look, Matt and I go way back, and we know where the shirt came from, our old days. So it's an inside joke thing. It's an inside.
JB's already got the hat trick.
With
hat
4
trick,
minutes
4
in,
minutes
and
in.
Wow. With three out of orders. It's not looking good for you.
That's more than how many wins the Suns are going to get in the series.
Oof.
The Suns in 5. That's all I'm saying. Devin Booker.
Bucks in 6 in Milwaukee.
I'm giving Suns in 6.
I'm saying 5. Devin Booker, Finals MVP. Finals MVP, John.
It's gonna end up being Drew Holiday.
It's a good pick if the Bucks win. I like that.
I can't go Chris Middleton. I just can't. Like with this inconsistency, I just can't.
I'm sticking with
Thank you, my
JB
dude.
on this.
Grunt Talks MLB. That's my guy. I love that dude. He said Suns in 5. I no longer love that dude. He just broke my heart. Said Suns in 5. So no, I did love
Suns
him.
in
I
5.
know.
And our Grunt is the man. He knows
I love
he
it.
listens to the JB logic. Suns in 5.
Thank you for that news, though. We're happy that Giannis is playing. We're hoping the Bucks win Game 1. Lightning in 5. Well, we will get to the Lightning. I have a lot of thoughts on the mayor of Tampa, and the Lightning. I have a lot of thoughts on that, but we're still on NBA. We will definitely get to the Lightning.
Trust me, there's plenty to talk about. This is
the NBA
full show.
I will say, I don't know if it's the injuries that disappoint me, the fact that I was really looking forward to the Nets winning the championship that disappoint me.
You're disappointed the Heat aren't there. That's what you were happier last year when we did the shows during last year's final.
I can say it was
you
more
two were
fun.
rooting against me. You had some rooting interest. You were rooting against John.
I'm rooting for. Hold on, I'm rooting for CP3 right now. Absolutely,
I'm for CP3, but Giannis I love, but I just don't like the Bucks.
Giannis is good, but I don't know.
I wish he had that dog mentality. He doesn't have that mean. He doesn't have mean bone in his body.
The man doesn't speak to other superstars because he's not looking for friends. He just wants to win.
No, the way he plays, he doesn't play angry.
He just can't shoot. How could you be a superstar when you can't shoot? He's not a setter. He should be able to shoot.
Yeah,
he gets paid how many millions?
And hit free throws. And he should be able to hit free throws.
Oh, you want to talk about free throws? Oh, jeez.
Take 15 seconds for a free throw.
Go to the outside and shoot.
Hold on. We want to talk about free throws. We missed last week. We were off, so we didn't talk about the atrocity that is Ben Simmons. That was. I don't want to give him much airtime because he is pathetic. Yeah. But I don't know about you, but I don't know how Philly keeps him. I mean,
I have no idea.
I don't know if they will, but I'm just saying I don't know how you could possibly want to keep him. He's
first of all,
I'm going to say
worse than
Shaq. That's a statement.
If he doesn't get traded, how does he play for them the way they disrespected him?
Absolutely. That's what I mean.
Well, they apparently turned down that trade with the Pacers.
But forget about the team for a second. Think about his psyche. Because, we went through this with Tua. We spoke about this in depth about how I felt that they should have played him because he's got to learn. But now Ben Simmons is a key part of their team. You have Doc say he doesn't know if he's good enough to win an NBA championship. How do you put that guy on the court next season as a starter and say, this is our team?
Well, I don't understand what they're trying to do in Philly. I mean, they had a chance for a first-round pick and a player from the Pacers, and they turned it down.
That's the problem. They're too busy going for cheesesteaks. They don't care about basketball. Who would Santa throw popcorn at guys? Play some basketball.
I agree. I mean, when you get offered a first rounder for Ben Simmons after he just did
and a pretty good player from the Pacers,
I don't care about forget the player, just a first round pick. And I'm just saying, like, even if you get rid of the first round,
and you get rid of that contract,
I'll take it. Absolutely. I mean, everything about it seemed fantastic. I mean, when you have free throw shooting that is worse than Shaq, that's pathetic. I mean,
the worst in the history of the NBA playoffs.
Worse than Dwight Howard or Shaq. I mean, those are the two of the worst free throw shooters, and they're known for it. Like that is one of the things they will always be remembered by. Of course, Shaq will always be remembered as one of the greatest players ever. Don't get me wrong, but it'll also be remembered as one of the worst, if not the worst, free throw shooter ever. And
Can't be worse than Ben Simmons.
But when you're right, but when you're being put in the same conversation about free throws as Shaq, there's a problem. If you're put in the same conversation as Shaq saying about your greatness and how awesome you are, congratulations. Good for when you're talking about free throws, you have a very, very serious problem. That is beyond
disgusting.
Sad. It's ridiculous. I mean,
it's disgusting. He's a professional. I could shoot 70% from the line. Jake, I guarantee you could shoot 70% from the line. John, I know you could shoot 70% from the line.
Maybe. That's pushing it.
But still, I would hit above. I think I would
probably like 5 out of 10.
But even still, though, you know what? That'd be
free throws.
Yeah, I'm not a great shooter. I'm
Hold
like
on.
the Ben Simmons. I'm a good defender, but
here's
not
what
a great
matters.
offender.
Here's what matters. That would still be better than Ben Simmons' performance this playoffs. That would still be better, so it doesn't matter. That's what's sad. And we're not professionals.
I think I would probably be the worst offender out of us three in basketball, but I would be a really good defender. I'm a fantastic defender. I'll stick on you like glue, but offense, I suck at offense in basketball. Yeah, I pass.
Hey, at least
Ben
you're
must
honest.
go.
I'm Ben Simmons.
Go.
I agree.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons has got to be done. I mean,
Listen,
I just wish I had his contract.
It's time for
Don't
him
we
to go to
all?
Milwaukee, or a place like that. You know,
Sim-
someplace that's irrelevant.
No, Milwaukee's not totally irrelevant right now. They're in the finals. So
they're in the finals.
It's an irrelevant city. They're happy about everybody.
Yes, but the team itself is not irrelevant. That's why I said you got to send them to a team that's totally irrelevant.
Grunt talks MLB. First of all, they had their chances, I just said, to trade Ben Simmons and get rid of his contract and get a first rounder and a player from the Pacers, and they turned it down. So it's on the Sixers for being stupid, knocking Ben Simmons, and then not trading him when you have a get out of jail free card.
It sounds like they might be trying to keep him, like by not trading him. That's the impression I get. Now. But I don't get it. I don't understand that.
The relationship's already broken.
Right, but you didn't trade him. So the only two scenarios at that point are either they're not planning to trade him or they're expecting more, which they're not going to get. So I don't understand their plan. It's one or the other at that point.
It's Philly. Come on. You guys know the Eagles do this stuff where they don't make sense, and it's a Philly thing.
Look,
you know? Just they're a little bit lower on the IQ scale, Philly typically. So we understand, give them the benefit of the doubt. That's Philly for you.
How bad is it that Philly is gone and the Milwaukee Yucks are in the final? That's all I'm going to say.
Well, like I said, and Adam's nowhere to be found, Philly was fraudulent. As I tried to tell Adam, you don't want Joel Embiid taking the last second shot. That's not the guy you want taking a shot.
I told you they were going to lose to the Knicks, but it wasn't the Knicks. It was the Hawks. I knew whoever won that series was winning that next series against the fraudulent Sixers. The Sixers are garbage.
They are.
Garbage.
They got one guy, and that's
I told you.
Everybody else is like...
I told you. They're not a fraudulent team in terms of regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, they're pathetic. I said they're one of those teams that's fantastic in the regular season.
The NBA regular season doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter in any sport, really.
It does.
What I mean by that, regular season doesn't mean anything once you make to the playoffs. That doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. You can go undefeated in the regular season in the NFL. I don't care. If you lose first round, I don't care about you. If you're not
going to play in the first round, but
you know what I'm saying. Your first round. I should have said your first round, but still, if you don't win a game, or really you don't win the championship, or at the very least,
then your season's
make it to the final. Like, okay, I give tons of credit to the Patriots in 2007. I know they lost. They should have won that year though, but at least they made the finals and didn't totally blow a season like that.
Thank you guys for being the real heroes.
We're very welcome. We were happy to do so, but the point is, at least they made the final. All right, fine, they lose, and I know they shouldn't have, but at least they almost won. They were very close. They nearly had it. The Sixers didn't even come close. They got bumped way too early.
Shout out to Matt for this comment about don't watch NBA. I don't necessarily recommend that. It's not a terrible sport, but I do recommend checking out the WNBA. They have a lot of fantastic players. All the players actually are in support of each other. They're all in support of one another. They want to lift up the league. They need to expand. WNBA is really killing it right now. I had a chance to talk to not to go off topic, but got a chance to talk to all of the athletes for the women's basketball team that's coming up soon. And I had a chance to talk to a bunch of WNBA players after their practices and before their games and after the games. So WNBA has just been awesome. And if you haven't checked it out, check out Megan Price and Eric Wilson and Alex Fleming, who cover the WNBA. Not to go off topipic, but WNBA is
absolutely.
That's something
Megan
you really
Price,
want to check out.
Who hosts the NBA Carousel, killing the WNBA coverage. She told me last night after the show she's going to the WNBA All-Star game in about a week. So she knows her WNBA. I've learned a lot from her. I don't follow it as closely as the NBA, but it's a different game and it's fun to watch.
You should. You definitely should give it a chance.
I say watch both.
If you talk to Megan, she'll convince you. She'll definitely convince you. So I just wanted to talk about that because Matt mentioned the WNBA.
All right, JB, anything else you want to talk about with basketball? I know you're not happy about Milwaukee. I know.
The Yucks, no. But, I mean, the Clippers, they had a great year. They got to the conference finals for the first time in history.
And they would have beat the Suns if it wasn't for Kawhi being injured, but he's always injured. Anyway.
Right. But, I mean, Kawhi, who is probably one of the best players in the game, just can't stay healthy when it mattered here. And, that killed them there. So, I mean, it just wasn't a good year, good ending for him. But, compared to last year, it was a little bit better.
It's the first time they ever got to the conference finals, too. That's their first conference finals appearance.
It's improvement, slowly but surely.
They're not going to get where they want to go.
I agree.
Just yet. They're a piece short, but I think, they have another year or two left in their life cycle if they keep the guy at their core.
Mm-hmm.
The West is still stocked. It's going to be fun to watch next year. The East, again, I think runs through Brooklyn if they could keep their guys and stay healthy. I think
if they're healthy and can show up, yeah.
I mean, remember the Heat didn't win the championship in the first year of their dynasty with LeBron and Wade and Bosh. So,
it's very true.
I mean, this should be a dynasty for years to come. This should be a dynasty for years to come. But
absolutely.
And Durant's going to be should be healthy for an entire season next year instead of coming off of an injury. So
we can hope.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, it'll be fun to have hopefully two good teams in New York. And I'm saying that hoping the Knicks stay playing well. It would be good to have two in New York. And I'm not just saying that as a Knicks fan. I'm just saying that as a fan of the sport. I mean, that is what everybody wants, I think, is New York to be the city that it can be with the team. That's everything that you want.
Do you think the Hawks and Bucks have arrived, or do you think it was just the circumstances played their way with all the injuries and whatnot? Do you think they kind of got a pass, or do you think they'll be back basically the same positions next year where they're really competing, going deep in the playoffs potentially? Or do you think this was a one-year wonder for the both of them?
The Yucks are a fundamental team. They're if Giannis learns how to shoot from the outside, or they get one more player, they're a force for years to come. The Hawks, they put together a good team. We said it when we were on the air in Atlanta. This was a team that was made to go into the playoffs. They overexceeded their expectations.
Agreed.
But
they need added piece.
But they're going to be, a team that you got to look out for next year. They signed their coach, Nate McMillan, for a few years. I think it was a 4-year deal.
Yep.
And very deserving.
I look for them to be good for the next few years. Do I think that they're in the class of the Nets or the Bucks? No, but they're a piece or two away from being in that class. So
they actually signed him before the playoffs started, but he did not want to. He didn't want to actually sign the deal or acknowledge that this was happening until the Hawks were officially eliminated or they won the championship. Whenever their season ended is when he wanted it to be announced. That's why it was just announced, and everybody was up in an uproar saying, why didn't they sign him sooner?
Well, they did.
He actually turned it down. Yes, he did not want to discuss contracts really until their season was over. So it was already in the works. It was already a done deal, but he didn't want to go through with all this stuff. You knew it was going to happen, but that's why everybody's in uproar. But
it was a formality thing at that point.
It was a formality, right?
Yeah.
And one more time, Daniel LaRusso is going to fight, and Giannis is going to play for the Karate Kid fans out there. Giannis is going to not shoot from the outside, hopefully, but let's go Suns in 5. Anything else in the NBA, guys?
No. I know what John wants to talk about now.
Here we go.
He wants to talk about some NHL, and I'm right there with you.
Yes, let's bring the NHL on. First
of all, because we missed last week, I have to provide the updates, the housekeeping things, if you will. As everybody has seen by now, obviously, Montreal knocks out Vegas. I was disappointed, but it's Montreal getting hot versus a Vegas team that just couldn't get it going. I mean, it was simple as that. Montreal was playing really, really well. Vegas just couldn't get enough going, and they lost. And I think they deserved to lose looking back at that. And the Lightning, as we knew, just did their thing. And I noticed something that I wanted to bring up before we get too much into the series itself. I thought this was kind of interesting. Last year, the Lightning, who are considered one of the premier teams in the league, made the final. Obviously, they win the championship. And they played the Stars, a team that was not considered very good, not really a team by any standards. They just got hot and then ended up losing to a better team. Same thing again this year for the Lightning. The Lightning seem to just get a little bit lucky. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're a fantastic team, and they deserve these championships that they got last year and are almost guaranteed to get again this year. But it's just I find it funny that last year they played the hot team, and then they beat them because they were just superior to them, and the hot team slowed down clearly. And the same thing seems to be happening this year with Montreal. Montreal was just hot. That's all they were. They were not by any means necessarily a good team. They are a solid team. Don't get me wrong. On paper, they're solid, but they played well above their expectations. They shouldn't even have made the playoffs, but they did. And if it weren't for that bad division, they wouldn't have. And here they are in the finals, and they're getting the butts whooped, deservingly so.
Got to ask, though, in your mind, the way that the NHL set up this season, does this really count to you as a true championship?
No.
I think it still does.
Lightning are what, 18 million over the cap?
I don't care about over the cap, but
you shouldn't be able to go over the cap, right? So there's a cap.
They didn't play out of the division until their series against the Islanders, and I wouldn't say that it was an easy series. They had a tough time with them, and the Islanders are a good young team, And then Montreal, who we spoke about the NHL playoffs when they started, we said the Canada division was the weakest out of the four. Meanwhile, they made the cup.
And you're welcome. You're welcome, Canadiens, because my reverse psychology willed you to the cup. So I take credit. So if you win the cup, I should get my name engraved on the cup as well. You can thank me for that.
John, if they win the cup, that would be extremely impressive.
And you can put my name on the cup if that happens. But make sure you're at USA beside it, because USA is better than Canada.
You know what? Healthcare for all is better for all. But anyway, let's get into why the Canadiens, they're just not in the same class as the Lightning. No. In a regular year, they would not be playing against the Lightning for the Stanley Cup Finals. To me, this is a sham. Great for the Lightning. They're the best team right now in the NHL. I don't think anyone's beating them anyway. But I don't know. This just reeks of hot garbage.
All I'll say is this, JB, because you love to say this all the time. You can only play the guys on your schedule. You can't play anything other than what the league gives you. I get what you're saying. Hey, that's your saying, not mine. I'm just throwing back what you say all the time. And
don't use my words against me. That's illegal. That's illegal.
No, JB, it's not illegal. Actually, according to you, it's out of order. But no, I mean that's the way I look at this. I get what you're saying, and I said it, and I fully admit I don't think this is a team that would have even sniffed the playoffs if it was a regular season. If everything was normal, divisions were normal in the Canadiens, but here they are, and you can't do anything about it. The Lightning are just playing the team that's there, and more importantly, they're taking care of business. I mean, I didn't get to make a prediction last week because. Like I said, we had the week off, so I didn't make a prediction on the finals. But I would have said I give Montreal one game and that's it. They're playing a much better team, and they stole a game at home. And I say they stole a game at home because they should have lost. I mean, simple as that. They should have lost last night, and that should have been the end of it. Tomorrow night, Game 5, Montreal's done. They pack their bags, go home. You got one win in the finals. Carey Price, you got one win. Congratulations. It's probably all you're ever going to get at this rate.
So what do you think of what the mayor of Tampa said about this series yesterday, I believe it was? You didn't hear what she said?
No.
She said that...
I don't pay attention to Tampa politics personally.
So she said that before the game yesterday, I believe in the afternoon, she said that the Lightning should throw the game on purpose so that way the Lightning can come back home for Game 5 and win the series in Tampa. I think that's the most asinine, stupid comment I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'll say this.
And
I
if she's
know-
running for re-election and she loses because Tampa loses, I would laugh in her face because you know what? You're going to jinx your team like that. You're going to encourage them to throw a game in the finals. Guess what?
Yeah,
It's
no.
going to come back to bite you. You know how sports work.
Yeah, no. I
mean,
get what she meant. She meant like, we're going to talk about
fans, right? 04?
John, that's going to be talked about. I am telling you, I want to talk about the Yankees later. That is on my list of things I have written down that I want to talk about this week. I have a list of things because I had so much I knew we had to cover. I will talk about the Yankees.
I'm just saying,
talk about
2004.
No, I know. No, I know.
The Red Sox.
I understand. I'm just saying, I actually do want to talk about the Yankees, though, currently
but
in a little bit.
Just, I said this on the Sports Arena last night. I brought it up, and some people thought that, that it would be a good idea, if, not throw it, but if Tampa lost, then at least they get to win it at home. And I said, can't be that naive because in sports, we all know sports really well, and anything can happen in sports. We've seen it with the Red Sox. We've seen it with your Giants twice. You shouldn't have beat Tom Brady, and they beat him twice. Nick Foles shouldn't have beat Tom Brady. He beat Tom Brady. That never should have happened. The Flyers came back from 3-0 down in a playoff series a couple years back. Like, anything can happen in sports, and we've seen it with teams in baseball that have a 12-run lead, and they let up, and then a team makes their way back, and they end up winning the game. Like, anything can happen in sports. You take your foot off the gas, you just never know what the other team's going to do. Never throw a game, especially in the
I'll say this. I know what the mayor meant. She's like, "Oh, it'd be cool for them to win." And I get that. I mean, the idea always sounds nice. They win at home. Of course, that sounds great. Everybody would love that, right? You win in front of your fans. That's awesome. Yeah. But here's the end of it. Do I want the championship, or do I want to win the championship in front of my fans, or do I want to possibly then lose in front of my fans? I think I'll just take the championship no matter where I win it. I don't care.
I want to win every game. I don't care where I'm playing.
It doesn't matter where.
I'm playing.
I agree.
When I play bags later this summer, I'm going to win. I don't care where we play, how we play, with who we play. When it comes to winning, that's all I want. Home court, away court.
When you go on the road and you win that championship, say you win on another team's court, guess what? You can come back and have your parade in front of your fans, in front of all your people. So it doesn't really matter because you're going to come to your guys, your ladies. You're going to come to all those people. You're going to celebrate in front of them anyway. So I think it's just asinine to say
the other thing that's important to note is momentum is always the biggest thing in sports. You don't want to give momentum to a team.
You don't want to give them hope or belief either.
Ever. And look, last night, I don't think that they lost on purpose. They just lost. I watched the game. They played very well. They came back at the very end of the
Tampa
game. Yeah. And they just lost the game. That's fine. And I expected Montreal to take one of their games at home. I did. That was my expectation. Was Tampa would win 2 at home, lose one of them on the road, and then win in Tampa probably in Game 5. That was my prediction, just because I figured Montreal would have enough fight in them to win at least one game, but I really don't expect them winning on the road. That was very slim chances for me. So they did exactly what I expected, but Tampa played well. For the mayor to say that, though, I just think that was stupid. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to – I don't want to make fun of somebody or bash somebody, but that's silly. I mean, come on.
You got to know your sports better than that. And if you don't jump into a sports conversation like that.
Reminds me of when we had de Blasio with the Knicks hat.
Mm-hmm.
Same stupid – it's the same stupid thing. Like, you're in politics for a reason. You stay over there. We're in sports over here. We're going to stay over here. We're going to be separated. Why? Because we know our sports. You know your politics. That's the end of it. Leave it at that. I get it. I mean, I know they're trying to.
But I don't mind comments, but
no, but stupid comments like that. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. Just keep your mouth shut.
I agree.
Because imagine the backlash if the Canadiens pull a miracle off and they come back from 3-0 down after her comments and they win the series. Could you imagine the backlash that she would face for something that? Oh my gosh! As a
talk
fan,
about a jinx.
If I was a Tampa fan, I would hate her for life. If my team lost over that, I would blame her. I'm somebody that believes in the jinxes. I love baseball, so I believe in the can't talk about a no-hitter or a perfect game when it's happening. You can't
Absolutely.
say it.
You
stuff
can't
like
say
that.
You can say, "Hey, this game is looking really good. This
Yeah,
has been
that's
a great
what I
game."
do.
You can do that.
That's
but
what I
you cannot
do.
ever say, "Oh man, so far he's got a perfect game."
No.
Because just like that, the moment you say it, you pack it up. It's done.
Even if I was an announcer for the opposite team and I wanted my team, I wouldn't even do that because it would feel dirty, and it's just like you don't do that. That's just I know what you're trying to do, but you don't do it. It's like
don't do that.
It's like trying to bunt to break up a no-hitter. No,
it's just wrong.
You don't do that. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
See, I don't think. See, the bunting to break up a no-hitter, I don't think it's bad.
I don't like it. It's bush league. If you can't earn that hit, I don't like it.
A bunt is an earned hit. Nobody can bunt anymore.
I agree.
Nah, I don't like a bunt. I don't like you. That's like a slap in the face to the guy that's pitched 9 2/3 innings, and you have to lay down a squeeze. I don't like it. I do not like it. You get that knock up the middle. Good for you.
You don't like the 7-inning no-hitter. You're out of here. You're out of order.
Now, here's what I'll say. If it's the 9th inning, you're down by like 7 runs, I don't like the run.
That's different.
If it's the 9th inning, 2 outs, but you're down by 1 run,
that's different.
I'm okay. No, I'm just clarifying. Yeah, I'm just choosing 2 extremes. 1 run versus 7 runs. 1 game is totally out of reach at that point. 1 game is well within reach.
Reach, it's different. But if, like you said, if it's a 7-0 game,
then I agree with that. But I think that needs to be prefaced.
I don't like it.
If it's a 7-run game and you got 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, and you bunt just to break up a no-hitter, you're a jerk. I mean, there's no other, and I'm trying to say that as politely as I can. There's a lot of other words that would describe that person, but I'm not going to. I'll just call them a jerk. That's not the right thing to do. That's not right. If it's a 1-run game, by all means, do it. Why? You're trying to win still. I respect it, and I get it. You absolutely should. But, yeah, no, I agree. I think it just depends on the scenario on that. But, yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about, John? I mean, that's all I wanted to talk about. I just want to talk about the series. I didn't really get to talk about it last week. Tampa's obviously looking to go back-to-back, which at this rate, unless they completely implode, which I don't intend to see.
Miracles happen.
We have the expansion draft coming up.
Yep.
July 21st, I believe. And then free agency starts the 28th. So
we'll have some good stuff coming up. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to talk about for NHL before we move on? All right. Now we have to have a dreaded conversation that I don't want to have, but it's baseball time. And I know, John, I'm sure there's plenty you have to talk about, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but I got a topic that I want to bring up real quick, if you don't mind. The New York Yankees look abysmal is not even the right word anymore. They look downright horrible. And so I'm going to pose this question to the both of you. I don't like having to say this. It pains me a little bit because the Yankees were a great team the past few years. This is a team that had high expectations and was supposed to be a championship contender. They're currently 4th place in the AL East. They don't even look like they're going to make the playoffs at this rate. And there are so many things going wrong that we'll talk about. But the question is it time for Aaron Boone to go?
I'm going to
take that.
Garrett Cole, since the sticky substance ban, the guy can't pitch. $40 million.
I believe his ERA is like a 6-something. I believe.
Oh my goodness!
I believe. I'm going to look it up.
Because they took away the sticky stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
As a Yankee fan, such as you, Jake, and myself, should he drive the bank truck back to the Bronx and give back some of that money because he's garbage? But I said that before we signed him. He's a cheater. He's always been a cheater. He was with that team where they had the garbage cans. Right? What team was that? The Trash Tros? The man is garbage. When they won the World Series,
he changed the hat. He didn't even have championship. Yeah.
He didn't even keep the Astros hat on. He had the no designation hat. He has no heart. He's a bum.
Yeah.
And he plays for my team now. So unfortunately, I'm stuck rooting for him once every 5 days. But when it comes to the playoffs, $40 million, he gives up hits. He's garbage.
He's
Forget
not.
About the rest of the guys.
This is not.
He's not an ace.
This is the same guy he was. This is what I said before about him. He was the same guy when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I was just going to say.
And I worried about him, and then he magically went to the Astros, and all of a sudden he knew how to pitch, and he was this ace. And I think it was because they had something going on in Houston because Verlander magically figured out how to pitch again When he went to Houston as well, he magically found his way. But now that there's no sticky stuff, now he doesn't know how to pitch. And I think the guy in Pittsburgh was the real Garrett Cole. I think he just had some enhancements in.
I hate to say it, but I think you're right. I mean, so I found what I was looking for. Since June 3rd, Cole has allowed 20 earned runs and 10 home runs over 34.1 innings pitched. Hold on. He has walked 11 and struck out 38. His ERA over that span is 5.24. That is horrible.
I'm going to make a mixed sports all-star team with Ben Simmons and Garrett Cole being the two team captains because they're both garbage.
Can you put James Harden on there?
Forever. See, Harden actually delivers.
Does he?
He was hurt and he still did work. What does Garrett Cole do without sticking?
I don't know about that. He had like 5 points a game. He came back and he was like a decoy.
Yeah, I mean,
he was the reason
that
they didn't move on. If he was healthy, they easily beat
him.
Listen,
he did more than Kyrie. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, that's fair, but he wasn't. All right, hold on. But we got to get back to the question of all of this, which is it time for Aaron Boone to be fired? I want to hear yes or no and what your reasoning is. I'll start with you, JB.
I'm enjoying where he's at. He's doing a good job.
Look, the wave says it all. Bye-bye. Bring Buck back.
I think it's time for him.
Yeah, Buck. Yeah, I remember.
John, what do you think? Is it time for him to be fired?
No, I think that he should stay. I think he should get like a 10-year deal. He's doing a great job.
All right.
He has been fantastic. He is he's maybe the best.
Thank you, guys.
It's been great having you guys this week. Now, come on. I know you like
John. I was just about to you.
But, John, seriously, on a more serious note, I mean, come on.
If you have that kind of payroll and those kind of stars and you can't deliver, I mean, yeah, especially in New York. Yeah. I mean, if you're in a place like Milwaukee or something, probably you can get away with it. But if you're in a place like New York where it's so prestigious and there's history winning, there's a short leash, and that leash is all but done for him. So I think that if they miss the playoffs this year, I think he's gone. If they start to fall below 500, like 5-10 games, and I definitely think that they'll get rid of him as soon as they fall 5-10 games.
I think he should be gone already, though. And the truth
I think so.
They're only one game over 500.
I never liked him as a manager. Never liked him.
They had a players only meeting, I believe, on Sunday or Saturday. That's never a good sign. That means
not every player needs to be a coach.
No.
Or a manager.
No,
not every player. David Ross, don't like him.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I mean, it's a problem when you are, before the season starts, a contender. You are easily a top 5 team that everybody says it's you, the Dodgers, probably putting the Astros still up there, right? These are the teams we think are going to go for a championship this year. And now you're halfway through the season and you are worse than the Mets. You nearly got swept by the Mets. And you're only one game over 500. Oh, and not to also mention, you are 4th place in your division, only better than the Orioles, which is just
and we're tank.
And that's like the Jets. I mean, right? I mean, and I'm not trying to make fun of another team, but seriously, the Jets are they've been bad. That's what they're known for.
It's a New York thing. It's a New York thing.
Well, but
something in the water.
The point is hold on. The Jets don't even play in New York, so let's get something straight. They
must be the armpit of the USA, New Jersey.
Hey, I live there, so watch yourself, John. Watch yourself.
Well, I agree with John.
I know we're not the best, but we do have beaches at least. So we got something going
really
for us.
Bad beaches. Rehoboth is overrated.
Actually, I wouldn't say that. Jersey has some nice beaches.
If you've been to Rehoboth, it's really windy and the sand hits you in the face all the time.
Late May.
Just so you know, John,
go in the water. Don't go in the water in Rehoboth.
John, in case you didn't know, Rehoboth is in Delaware. So that's not New Jersey.
Well, isn't there one in New Jersey?
No, not
yeah,
that
there's
I know
a New
of.
Jersey. Isn't there?
Not that I know of.
I have PTSD from Rehoboth almost killing me. So,
that's not us. Don't blame New Jersey for that.
I
We're
went
known for our
out to the
beaches.
water, short water, and I felt a little tied. It pulled me down. I couldn't get out. I started swimming up.
That's
Put my
probably
head
your
up
fault.
and almost died. So, fun fact, almost died years ago.
I'm
Back
going to
in
say that's probably
2012.
your fault. That is probably
No,
your
that's
fault.
just the rip tide or whatever, the little tide.
Well, that's probably your fault.
Don't go
For
in that
being-
water. It's like Jaws, pulls you down.
John, I've lived in New Jersey my entire life. I've never had a problem
You
like
guys
that
are
with
going to
water.
go, your little place, your little state is going to go underwater eventually. You're going to live underwater. You're going to be like Atlantis. Eventually. It's going to be like Hurricane Katrina, but worse.
All right. Now you're just hating on
All
New
righty
Jersey.
then.
All right. More baseball news. John, do you have other things? Because I do have other stuff, but I want to throw it to you first, seeing as you are a baseball guy.
I'm really happy that Cedric Mullins for us is an all-star. It's a shame it took this long to get him voted into the game. It's a shame that Mike Trout has more votes, who hasn't played basically the entire season. But Cedric Mullins leads the AL in hits, as far as I know. Last time I checked, he led the AL in hits, or he's right there with Vlad.
He looks much improved. I'll
he's
give him
been
that.
amazing.
Yeah.
And yet,
Besides,
Mike Trout has more votes than him. How I get it's a
popularity contest, John.
What?
Besides for us three, who else knows of Cedric Mullins? Let's be serious.
I mean, the guy's been amazing this year, offense and
defensively. I'll go with JB on that. I mean, obviously, we all pay attention very closely.
I didn't expect anything out of him this year, so like I can't say I saw this coming. But he's been amazing.
The problem is, it's a huge popularity contest, and I know you know that, but it's just But it's a shame. Like, why is Mike Trout in the All-Star game? That's
he hasn't done anything.
That's why.
It's not fair to other guys that have earned their spots and earned their spots starting too. Like Mullins has earned his spot. He's not going to start. He's on the Orioles. Mike Trout, of course he's going to start if he's healthy. Of course he will. Throw him right in.
Popularity contest. Speaking of popularity, and we're talking about the Angels, there is another player that deserves his spot and needs to be talked about because Shohei Ohtani is not only an all-star for his hitting, but also his pitching. He is the first player in history to be voted in for both positions. Apparently, I would have thought
I think
Babe
I've
Ruth.
heard the same thing. Yeah,
I would have thought Babe Ruth would have been one of those guys. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if they did that.
I don't know if they did. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if they did all-star stuff though. I mean, maybe they didn't, and that's why. But I mean, he's
on
has
pace.
Been unbelievable.
As of the other day, he was on pace for 64 home runs this year. The most ever by a clean player.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, this is going to be one of the most amazing seasons in MLB history.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be the most by a clean player ever in a season, 64. No clean players ever hit more.
Well, we don't know that he's clean.
No, I'm just saying.
We assume
nobody else that's hit more is clean. So, in my opinion.
Well, we can't assume.
Here's what I'll say.
That's my guess. My opinion.
I don't know about you two, but right now the AL MVP couldn't be any clearer. I mean, he is the definition.
Cedric Mullins has been fantastic. All right, you're out of order. I don't have the thing.
You're both out of order. You say JB Ellis and Cedric Mullins? I mean, come on.
He leads the AL in hits more than Ohtani. Just saying.
John, the definition of MVP right now should be Shohei Ohtani because he's not only getting his team hits, home runs, providing offense, he's providing defense by pitching incredibly.
But,
I mean,
where's he taking his team? Playoff-wise, where's he taking his team? Nowhere. Where's Cedric Mullins taking his team?
Nowhere.
He's playing amazing, and he's helping us get the first draft pick. That's more valuable than Shohei Ohtani.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Hang on.
Hold on.
I'm going to talk to Hal Steinbrenner to get some of Garrett Cole's money because I can pitch better at this point.
I mean,
MVP.
John.
MVP.
I'd rather have Cedric Mullins help give you the first overall pick than Shohei Ohtani get you nowhere. Bam. Take that to the bank. I'll take Garrett Cole's money now. Thank you. I'll see you later.
I'll gladly take Garrett Cole's money because he doesn't deserve it.
He hasn't deserved it ever in New York. Garbage.
Yeah. Wow.
Trade him to the Yucks for Giannis.
He would be a bad pitcher probably. With that size?
now that I have a platform to bring this up, because I've always wanted to bring this up because I hate
this. Is always bad. It always starts when John says, "I've always wanted to talk about this." That's never a good sign.
It's bugged me for years. Why in the world did they make the All-Star game meaningless in the MLB? It's meaningless now. It used to mean something. It used to be the most meaningful All-Star game, the only meaningful All-Star game in sports.
It was never meaningful.
Yes, because it determined home field advantage in the World Series. It had value.
That was only the last couple of years.
No, it's always been that way until the past, I think, 4 years they took it away. The past 4 years, they stopped.
No. Look back
Before
at history.
that, it was always a thing.
No, it was not. It started.
Growing up, every year, the All-Star game meant something, and the home team got an advantage.
John, you can look
now
it up.
it means
No, they used to alternate. They used to
now I don't care about the All-Star
game. They used to alternate AL and NL. That's incorrect. I am positive. I grew up watching baseball more than any other sport.
Yeah, John. In 2000, before 2003, it just alternated back and forth, and then it was in place from 2003 until 2017. So that's really not
from the Milwaukee Yucks.
Yeah, I mean.
So see, it mattered, and that's when I really remember a lot of baseball.
That was for a little
over
14
years. That was 14 years I cared about the All-Star game. Now, do you care about the All-Star game? If
I never really cared about it in the first place.
Okay, so
if the Yankees were relevant, say they were the best team in baseball,
John,
and the All-Star game mattered in that regard, would you watch the All-Star game?
I watch it anyway because I just want to watch the players.
Would you have more rooting interest for the AL?
Absolutely
would you be like,
not.
we got to win so the Yankees can get home field?
No, I don't really care.
I vote for the O's.
Because you guys don't make the World Series. We're the best
2014 ALCS. 2014 ALCS. I cared about it that year. We had a shot at home field.
2014?
2014
wouldn't have existed. It was
to 2017, 2003 to 2017.
Oh, yes, it was 2017. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yes.
I was thinking 2013 in my head.
So,
I was mixing the three.
Even still, 2014, yeah.
No, you're right.
Basically, that gives me no interest to root for it. Basically,
I didn't.
The All-Star game is what it is. It's a showcase. You get to see the best players play each other.
I love watching it for that.
I was lucky enough to go to one All-Star game and one home run derby. I went to the All-Star game, Ozzie Smith's last All-Star game, but it was in Philadelphia.
Really?
Wow. Yes, it was a phenomenal experience.
That's
the MLB All-Star game is phenomenal. I went to the home run contest at Yankee Stadium the last time they had it, the real Yankee Stadium, not the sham known as the Yankee Stadium. So I've been fortunate to see both. They're exciting. It's something to see. But you have to be a fan of baseball to like the All-Star game. If you're not a fan of baseball, you're not.
I mean, it's fun to watch. I love for me, I love the home run derby. Why? I like watching guys just go out and hit. It's fun.
Oh, I miss the home run derby. I don't have cable, so I don't get to watch it. But I do love the home run derby.
Right.
I wish the big boppers would come around and do the home run derby. Now everybody thinks it's a jinx on your swing, and a lot of bigger guys don't do it. I wish the big guys. I wish the big guys like Trout and guys like that would do it. I wish those guys would bring it.
There's no reason to risk hundreds of millions of dollars to take the chance to get it.
They like to take that time to rest.
Come on,
and I get
it's
that.
for fun. It's just like LeBron James for years always turned down the dunk contest. He should have done it. MJ did it. MJ won it twice?
MJ did it before he got to the point where he was getting paid ridiculous amounts.
Still,
also, you have to remember, MJ was a much more durable player than
MJ
LeBron.
was a star as soon as he came onto the
LeBron is got glass bones, kind of like Anthony.
Hang on. Speaking of LeBron, I got to bring this up. Did anyone see the video of LeBron? Did LeBron go to the PA announcer during his son's game at the Summer League? He was upset. The son got a foul
Oh my gosh!
And he went to yell at the PA announcer.
You can't do that.
LeBron. Hang on, they were playing at LeBron James court, or whatever they want to call it, LeBron James Arena.
So something named after him, of course.
Ew.
So the announcer said, "Oh, he must have got the call because it's his court." And LeBron got up and went and started yelling at the guy, talking to him. You can't make that call. LeBron, you can't do that, LeBron.
You can't do that.
Dude, come on.
People are going to have opinions. You got to let people's opinions go.
Yeah,
right now,
you can't be that guy.
The superstar. You can't get. I get it's your son, and I get you want to protect him. You can't do that.
You gotta let him be himself and make mistakes.
That was, you know what that reminds me of?
bad.
That's like a LeVar Ball kind of move.
Yep.
Right? I mean, look, I
don't
get
me
it's
wrong.
your kid. I respect
I get why he did it.
But
I
dude,
get
come
why
on.
he did it, but you got to let it go. You got to be above that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a soccer mom coming to like their kid's game and screaming. It's like, stop! Like we
let
all
them
are
fight
here
their
to
own
see
battles.
we're all here to see our kid,
Yeah.
but just let them play and have fun. Just stop. Just this isn't about you. This is about your kid. It's about the kids. Let it go. It's not about you. He's got to make it about himself.
Always.
Even at his own kid's game, he's got to make it about himself.
Well, they're playing
the
at his
named
court.
after him.
Yeah,
he's got to go to the PA announcer and make a big scene. Remember,
It was disgusting.
What was it during the conference finals or the round before that? Him and Drake and a whole bunch of other people showed up at LeBron's son's game.
Of course.
And they made it all about them. They got the cameras on them. They're all flashy. They got up during the game, waved and all this stuff. And it's like, stop. Are you here for your son? Or are you here to boost your own image and get the spotlight on you? Just stop making it about yourself. Kobe didn't do that. Remember, Kobe didn't do that with his daughter.
Nope.
He specifically made sure that it was about her and her talent.
He would coach them. He would help them, but he didn't make it about him.
And he specifically wanted to make sure that he didn't make it about him.
Different type of superstar. Kobe was all about winning and being off the court, not seen.
But he also, he respected his daughter, and her game.
Bron is about making the money, being seen when it benefits him.
That's why he's doing Space Jam too.
His family. Yep, it was about his family, and that's it. And it's a shame.
When MJ did Space Jam, all right, fine. That was whatever. It was one movie. But he did it and he left it alone.
It was iconic.
Right,
Yeah.
but it becomes a classic. Okay, you leave well enough alone, though. You don't need the second one. Will I watch it for the heck of it? Sure, because I'll watch it for nostalgia's sake. That's the only reason. I think it looks
terrible.
But it looks so stupid. And hold on, here's the other thing.
It looked horrible.
Look at Space Jam 1. What other superstars were in there in terms of basketball players? You had other players make very, very, very minor cameos, right? The Monstars steal them. Their essence or whatever, right? But they don't become a vital part. They're just there for a quick second.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Ewing, I believe, was in it. If I think Charles Barkley.
I think it was Ewing, Barkley, maybe
Bird. Right. But they were in there for very, very quick seconds. It was in and out. Like they show up at the game, they see them, they leave. That's the end of it. That's it. This, you got AD, you got Damian Lillard, they're voicing people. I mean, come on. I don't want that. That's not what I mean. It's ridiculous.
We have a guest request.
A guest request? Where?
Guest request on our comments. Grunt wants to join in and chat with us.
Well, maybe we'll have to talk to him offline on another episode. Maybe.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's set up a time to talk to Grunt.
Just because we have a lot. I still have so much I want to cover. Trust me.
Yeah, we'll
Grunt, send us a friend request on Facebook to one of us, and we'll bring you into the group chat and have you on.
Always love to talk with our fans, with other people, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm it's just so ridiculous, and that's what LeBron's about. He's about the fame, the big ego. That's why he'll never be the GOAT in my mind. One of the many reasons.
Yeah, I agree.
But we've gotten very far off topic.
Let's get off of anything else going on in baseball. Jake, you got a lot of stuff going on. What's going on? I got one more thing I want to talk about baseball wise. It's more of the sticky stuff, but oh geez, we wanted to talk about how bad Garrett Cole was. Can we talk about Aroldis Chapman? That was pathetic. I mean, I'm starting to think this team is ootruly doomed. He gave up 6 runs to the Mets the other day in relief.
Oof, ouch.
I mean, talk about the sticky stuff hurting you.
The Mets are a team of.
They're not good. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. They're not good.
Shocked. I am in shock that they have done what they've done with the pieces that they have. That's all I can say about the Mets.
The Mets are not good.
They're
Simple as that.
basically the Baltimore Orioles, but playing at Flushing.
Whoa. Why are you attacking us? We haven't done anything to you. We're just sitting here tanking quietly. Oh, okay. I was going to say, why are you bringing us into this? We're just quietly tanking over here. Just let us die in peace.
They're just,
I guess we're already dead.
They're the Titanic just slowly sinking on their own.
I had to survive
thing.
the Dolphins tanking, trying to survive the Orioles tanking.
They're just doing their own thing.
Tank job.
I don't know. I'm saying you're basically a first place team in the NL East, basically. So I think that's a compliment.
That would be nice, but that's laughed out of the playoffs. So I don't want to be in the playoffs.
The Mets are, and I don't mean to attack the Mets by any means, but they're the worst offensive team in baseball, and that's not me just being. They are. They've scored the least runs in baseball.
I was actually looking it up.
They're actually
the
worst offensive team, and that's not like I'm just coming at them. That's actually the facts. That
I was actually looking it up the other day. I think the Orioles had more runs scored than the Yankees. As of a couple days ago.
I don't know.
I think it was like 3 more runs, which is crazy because of who the Yankees have, and the Orioles really, don't have much. But I was looking up the other day.
Yankees just aren't hitting.
But it's just insane that they're even that close.
Okay, so hold on. I retract my statement. The Mets are not, at least currently, the worst team in baseball in terms of runs. They are second to last. Only the Pirates have scored less runs than them. So
Pirates are terrible.
But I'm just and John, to your point,
to Brian Hayes though,
the Orioles do have more runs than the Yankees by 5 runs. You have scored 5 more.
That's insane.
Yeah, the Yankees are down in 25th place. They are.
That
my point exactly.
That
one
might
of
be
the
worse
worst teams
than anything you've mentioned tonight about the Yankees.
And that's
with that firepower in that offense. How is that even possible?
Absolutely, and that's why I said
that short porch and right. You got a short porch and right that you could sneeze the ball over. That porch is so short.
I could probably hit it over that porch. I mean,
like Brett Gardner always gets those shots.
Let's have a players only meeting. That'll help us score runs. Shut up and play baseball. Simple.
I think it's time for a new manager. Not to get back to that, but back to the Mets though. Yeah, they're one of the worst offensive teams. I don't think that they're good by any means. I think it's just kind of like the Canadiens, right? They're just taking advantage of a very bad division.
Really good pitching.
And Pete Alonso
absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to bash the Mets. It's a very bad division, and of course, DeGrom has been insane, but it comes down to it's a bad division. That's really what it is. With any other division, they'd suck.
And Pete Alonso overachieved a little bit last year too. Let's just face that he's not quite the same guy he was last year. So everybody expected him to do what he did again, and it hasn't quite been the same. And I think they were relying heavily on Pete Alonso to come out and be that guy again. So
always how it goes. And Lindor has not been anywhere near.
All. That's surprising.
Yeah,
I can't say I'm surprised. Play in New York. Ask Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
maybe Lindor should ask Garrett Cole.
Ask Ioannis Cespedes.
Yeah, sure. All right. Anything else we want to talk about in terms of baseball? No? All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have more stuff, but I do. So I'll first deflect to you. If you have anything else you want to talk about first, I don't want to feel like I'm taking over here.
Bring on.
All right. There was more big news this week. I was very happy. College athletes can now be paid for their likeness and their name.
I'm so happy.
I have never been so happy about college sports. This has got to be one of the best things to ever happen. This is not going to be a long-winded conversation on this, obviously, but I was.
It's a matter of who you'd rather have the money, the universities or the kids. Last time I checked, the university ain't doing nothing for me. So
they're making billions off these kids, and these kids get everybody gets a spiel about they get an education. All right, you tell me how going to class and learning from a professor is going to put food in your stomach when they got no food. They can't afford food. You know what I mean? Like when you can make money off in this life, you make money where you can. Respectfully, of course. Respectfully and legally, of course. But you make money where you can in this life, and you get it where you can. Like who are we to tell an 18-year-old 18-year-old woman or man, because they're an adult, who are we to tell them that they're too young to make money? You don't know them. That's not fair. Who are we to say, well, they're just a kid, they don't know? You don't know that. You have no idea. You don't know if they're mature. The truth is,
by law, they're not. That's the big thing.
You don't know if they act like a mature 30-year-old. I know 30-year-olds that act like 10-year-olds. So you can't say, well, they're 18 or 19 and they can't handle this. Well, you don't know. And you got to give them a chance to learn, because guess what? We all had to go through growing pains in our lives and learn from our mistakes. So if they make mistakes, well, so be it. That's part of life. So let them learn.
I think the other big thing is they are adults. So if they're 18 over or older, they should absolutely be entitled to that. But more importantly, the truth is, if you're going to be making money as an athlete, generally speaking, that means you're at a big school and you have a good chance at probably at least trying to make a professional league, which means you're probably going to have the right support around you. You're going to probably have an agent by that point. You're going to have a lot of big support on your side. So those that are worried, they're not going to make the right decisions, they're going to have the guidance that they need on their side if they're as big as they are making the money that they're going to be making. I'm countering that argument. I'm countering.
But how many NBA players have gone bankrupt? How many MLB players have gone bankrupt?
You're right.
That's a horrible argument.
No, but what I'm saying is, if they're worried about that,
JB's completely right.
Who cares? Why should the schools get all this money? Let the kids who earn the money.
Well, the other thing I've always believed.
Anybody that has this argument, send me a friend request. I will shoot you down in about 3 seconds. You're done. But go ahead, Jake.
I was just going to say, the truth I've always felt is the schools are not doing anything really in terms of work to make this money, right? The players are out there. They're putting in the work on and off the court, right? They are the ones that are bringing in the money for you. I understand that in every sport, who makes the majority of the money? The owners. The school are the owners. I understand that. But the players get a portion of that money. Why? They're bringing in ticket sales by being there. They're bringing in jersey sales, other merchandise sales, food sales at the games, concessions, right? All that stuff. Who's causing you to make the money you're currently making? That's right. It's the players.
So what I never risking their lives and their bodies.
Absolutely. Even if they're not. But what I've never understood was, what is the difference between a professional and a college at that point, right? They're doing all the exact same things. Are they making you money through concessions, jersey sales, all of the above? Yes. Are they out on the court?
For a ticket to go to a game?
What?
If I want to go see the Duke Blue Devils, do I got to pay for a ticket?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The other thing, are they out on the field? Hold on. Are they out on the field or the court or whatever they're playing on, putting in the work personally? Yep. Do they practice and do all that? Yep. Do you do any of that? Absolutely not.
No.
In the pros, do you do any of that? Nope. If you're the owner, you absolutely don't. If you're in college, do you do any of that? You still don't. I don't see a difference. They're totally parallels, just different levels of how much money they're going to make, obviously. And more importantly, different levels of play. That's fine, but they're still putting in the exact same amount of work. I don't see a difference.
I agree. I'm 100% with you.
So I've always believed that they deserve that. I'm happy for that.
If you're going to use somebody's name and likeness, guess what? They should be able to make money off their own name. Absolutely. You shouldn't be the one making, tons of money off of my name when, why should I not get a cut when you're profiting off me? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's only fair. By the way, the biggest thing in all this is that we're going to get NCAA football next year. By this time, we should be getting our NCAA football game for the PlayStation 4. That's what I'm looking forward to. And all this, that's the most important thing, is that we're going to get NCAA football back. We can throw Madden in the trash, finally go back to NCAA football, because Madden's been hot garbage for years and years and years. They've been copy and pasting all this garbage, giving me nonsense. I can do away with that, and I can go back to NCAA football and say, Madden, until you up your game, I'm just going to live on college football. And bye-bye, see you later. And by the way, July 20th, EA Sports is announcing one of these old sports games to come back from the old days, maybe NBA Street or one of these big games that we used to have. So I'm so excited for July 20th when we get this announcement of which big sports franchise we're going to get back for video games. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I know we're getting college football back. I kind of hope we get college basketball back too, because I absolutely adored the college basketball games. Oh my gosh, they were so much fun. I like
They
them
were
more
phenomenal.
than they were phenomenal. I love the NCAA tournaments in them games. Oh my, they were so much fun doing them, and I can't wait. Like that's my favorite thing about all. I'm happy for the kids and stuff, but I'm happy for me. Next year, I get my game. 1 year from now, I should be getting my game. I should be playing it. We'll be on our show. I'll be talking about how happy I am because I care about my happiness too. Why should I not get to be happy? These players get to be happy being rich.
I don't think I've ever seen John this happy.
Well, hey, have you played NCAA football or NCAA basketball?
Absolutely. Of course I have.
It is heaven on earth. It's happiness. I like to win the Heisman. I like that. I like to create my guy, win the Heisman. I like to win the NCAA tournament with my creative player and stuff like that. So I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. And then I can throw those games in the trash like Madden that I don't need anymore because that's garbage.
And
I just want to make sure that I throw it out there.
Not to make this all about myself, but July 20th also happens to be my birthday, actually, funny enough.
Oh, well, see, it's
Happy birthday.
it's the second best day of the year next to my birthday. Second best day of the year. Not to make this about me, but
of course, let's make it about you, John.
Well, I mean, it is Lou Gehrig's birthday, and you're a Yankees fan, so why not be happy
I know.
about Lou
You're
Gehrig?
right. You're right.
Yeah, there you go. So second best day of the year is your birthday.
Wow. Oh, what else you got, Jake?
All right, I got one last thing. Have you guys paid any sort of attention to the Olympics at all?
Not yet, but marijuana should be legal next.
That is absolutely stupid.
I think we're all thinking the same thing. Sha'Carri Richardson is not
only
only
so bad for her.
21.
What?
2021. Are we done with stupidity? It's marijuana. We're not talking about steroids. We're not talking about crack cocaine. We're talking about marijuana. It's like Allen Iverson talking about practice. Come on, just get the hell out of here.
I can't believe an Olympic athlete that's worked so hard to get where she's at, and they disqualify her over marijuana. Now, I'm not for marijuana personally. I'm not.
I understand.
But to disqualify her after all the work that she has put in over marijuana, like that is so silly and so asinine.
What I have
don't
a problem
understand.
with is it's not a performance-enhancing drug. Marijuana by no means would enhance her performance. If anything, you would think it would weaken her performance. So you're telling me for a player or a person or whatever in any sport to use something that would be considered to hurt their performance is now illegal?
And these men and women only have a short. Now, NFL players, NBA players, all them, they have a window of probably typically like 5, 10, 15 years. These men and women,
accurate,
these men and women, the Olympics, once every 4 years.
So they only get to go to maybe 3 Olympics, 4 if they're lucky.
You're good enough.
If you're really lucky and you start young, you can go to 4.
You're phenomenal.
Yes, because a lot of times once you get to a certain age as an Olympian, you can't go anymore. They pick the younger people. That's just how it is. Yeah, so, this might be her last shot or second to last shot at the Olympics. You just ruined it for her because of marijuana. It is so unfair and disrespectful, and it's dumb. It's absolutely dumb.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the truth is, these people really don't get to be in Olympics that many times. I mean, really, no. I think the average is maybe 2 or 3 times.
And how hard they train to make everything perfect down to every single little detail. How just grueling it is to train for this. Because I watch documentaries and stuff. They train so hard. So I'm not knocking other athletes, but Olympians train so damn hard.
Absolutely.
Get where they're at to get to perform one time in 4 years. And then you're going to make one person throw it away over not steroids, not crack cocaine, nothing like that. Marijuana.
I mean, I was so bothered.
Seriously, come on. It's stupid.
I mean, for example, I'm trying to find it.
Oh, wow. He is out of order. He is completely out of order. Bye-bye, JB. That's what we call out of order. He's gone.
All right. Well, I mean, I didn't have much else, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's pretty much the end. I'm just trying to find. No, I'm trying to find one thing about Usain Bolt because I wanted to see how many Olympics he had been in. I don't know. He wasn't in many. I know he wasn't. He was in a couple, which is my point. But I know he retired in 2016.
It's really hard. Like I said, it's really hard once you get, you've been in a few, and then you start getting up there in age, you get to like 26 or 30. And the likelihood of getting a play in it is less and less because they typically choose the younger people. So I think JB might be done for the night, might be gone. We're at the end of the show anyway, so
yeah. I think if I'm correct, Usain Bolt was in 3 separate Olympics, and that was it. 08, 12, and 16, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's it.
That's about the extent of an Olympian's career. It's about 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes to prove my point. He is one of the greatest Olympians in terms of his sport, and he appeared in 3. That's it.
Yeah, and she's get disqualified in 1. We don't know if she's going to get one more.
I don't know
if she will. You're not guaranteed as an Olympian to ever get back.
Yeah,
never guaranteed.
She could have been on Team USA still. They had the option to put her on. I saw something today.
Well,
what?
They should have.
Oh, absolutely. But they made a statement today, which I'll read, and I think this is just about all I have, and we'll probably finish there. It says, while US ATF, which is, I guess, the US team, I don't know.
Field and track or whatever.
Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Fully agrees that the merit of the World Anti-Doping Agency rules related to THC should be reevaluated. It would be detrimental to the integrity of the U.S. Olympic team trials for track and field if USATF amended its policies following competition only weeks before the Olympic Games. They also said all athletes are equal and must adhere to the current anti-doping code, and our credibility as the national governing body would be lost if rules were only enforced under certain circumstances. So I get that they're saying it should be changed, but she really didn't do anything wrong. And when do you know why she did it? Because I heard why she did it. And I felt so bad for her.
Regardless of why she did it.
No, I know, but
it shouldn't matter.
It adds to the story. It
shouldn't be held against her.
It adds to the story. I remember correctly, she lost her father, and she was using it as a coping mechanism because she had anxiety and she was obviously hurting. I mean, come on. I'm like speechless. It just bothers me so much. Come on. She's obviously going through some stuff. And while I am with you, John, weed is not for me. That is not my, preferred anything. It's fine. It's totally legal nowadays. Just let it go. I mean, I don't know. Well,
that's it for us.
Yeah. We'll throw out our handles. Yep. Yeah. John, you go first.
Yeah. You can find me obviously here, Sideline Sports, cardiaccane.com, where I write my articles for Cardiac Cane on Fansided. I'm a contributor and independent contractor, so you can find me on there. You can find me on the Sports Arena Monday and Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have Renee Washington tomorrow night. She covers the WNBA. She covers all kinds of things. I believe she's with Fox Sports. So she is a household name in the media world for WNBA. So she'll be on Sports Arena tomorrow night. We're so excited to have her. You're going to want to check out NBA Carousel Monday nights, and NFL Carousel's right around the corner. I covered the Ravens for them with Alex Fleming and Eric Wilson, and just an assortment of great people on there. So you're going to want to check that out once we come back in the fall. And Blue Hawks 13 on Twitter. You're going to want to find me on there. So that's where you can find me. What about you, Jake? And then shout out JB.
I'll shout out JB first. I got him. You can find JB at JB Ellis. You can find him on Facebook on that. You can find him on Twitter at JB_the program. You can find him on the program, which is his show. I don't know if he's back yet or he's coming back soon. I know he's planning to be, but obviously you pay attention to him. You can find him here on Sideline Sports. He helps with the NBA Carousel. which is run by Sideline Sports.
Yep.
I don't think I missed anything, did I? I think that's all the stuff.
No, I think that's everything.
I think that's it. I've
NBA
heard
and NFL carousel as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've heard it so many times. I still don't remember what he says. I know what I say. I know some of what you say and what he says. I never remember it all. Yeah, you guys can find me here on Sideline Sports or on Twitter at Jake_Malik. You can find my Twitter. I usually try to keep up with relevant news and such. I'm always putting out stuff that's going on there. Try to keep up with that. I talk to players, personnel for all different sports, so I try to do my best on that. We all do. And more importantly, you can find Sideline Sports on Instagram and Twitter at Sideline Sport 1. You can find us YouTube, Facebook, Sideline Sports. We are on TikTok. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We are anywhere you can think of. Basically, every social media, every podcasting site, everything. We are there. So find us there. Check us out. Every week, we will give you the best current, up-to-date sports news. And, of course, we'll always provide some fun content, I like to think. So anything else, John, or are we good?
The most important place.
And the least important face is John.
So I got.
All right. Well, then that's it for us at Sideline Sports. Everybody, have a good night.